My first experience with Digitech DOD is a 5-pedal exploration. Let's see how this goes. Hey there, I'm Dan, the self-proclaimed Lonely Rocker. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I am super excited because I dive into the world of Digitech DOD. I slept on that brand for so many years.
Long story, but that ends today.
So my plan was to walk you through the 5 different pedals so we can discover them together and then get inspired and write a song. Now, that's actually what happened, but I'm gonna
flip the script a little bit, Tarantino-style.
Where I'm gonna take you to the ending first, where you can hear the finished product using all 5 pedals, and then we'll go back in time as I discovered each pedal. Let's dive in. Can I say that was a lot of fun? I don't know what took me so long getting my hands on these pedals, but they are a lot of fun. That Hammer On pedal is a little confusing. It takes a little bit of time sort of to get your head wrapped around it, but once you do, there's just a treasure trove of things to discover in there, and I still have a bit to learn. The Whammy is a classic, and it's about time that I have one here. I've always been a wah-wah fan, so I'm sort of comfortable in that format, so I'm gonna be diving deeper and deeper into that pedal for sure. And the Freqout, another classic. That feedback was awesome. So as promised, we're gonna go back in time when I first discovered the pedals. Now, it wasn't some kind of reaction. Of course, I was familiar with those pedals, just hadn't spent a lot of time with them myself, but it was fun to sort of go through each one and sort of share the experience with you. So let's go back in time. Just so you know what's going on here, these pedals are all running into this pedal switcher here that's running into a loop inside my Fractal FM9. And my amp of choice today, that is one of the jewels of my collection. That's the Angle Powerball 2. We're on channel 3. It's a high gain channel, and that's running through here and using a load box, and I'm using an own Hammer V30 Cab IR. A little bit of reverb on the FM9. That's it. Everything else is amp or pedals. All right, so to start, we have the Whammy MonoNeon signature whammy pedal, and this is a legendary pedal. There's dozens of versions out there, I think, but this is my first one, which is, I believe, the most recent one. And in essence, it is a pitch shifting pedal. You can step on the treadle and then sort of sweep into different pitch shifts, up and down, harmonies, and things like that. So let's just take a quick little listen. Again, this is the dry signal. Yeah, so what's cool about this one is there's 2 modes. You have sort of the classic mode, which, as I've come to understand, had a bit of a warble to it, which is kind of signature. Again, not being an experienced whammy user. But they've got this chord mode here, which is what I actually have it on now, which really just improves the accuracy. And just like it says, you can play chords. Super cool. Now, there's a lot more you can do with this when you have it on the floor and get your foot on that. So, of course, I will dive a little bit more into that, but there's all sorts of different modes here. Let's just give one more here. This is totally random. So you can sweep through different harmonies and things like that. So I will definitely put that to good use when we get into the song. So stepping into the next one, in patch number 2, just to clarify, each one of these pedals is going into a single channel here on the looper, so I can just step through. So number 2, it's kind of opposite. This number 2. Now this is the Mosaic pedal. Now this is basically a 12-string pedal. I'm going to go onto the clean channel on the Powerball here. And let me just bypass this for a second. So again, you can hear the Mosaic. So you can adjust the level and sort of the tonality of that upper harmony, basically, or octave. Now, in terms of a 12-string guitar, which I do have one here on my double neck, you have an upper octave for the bottom 4 strings, I believe, and then the top 2 are doubled. That's typically how a 12-string guitar works. Now, in this case, this is giving you an octave above every string. But you need if they could figure out how to keep the top 2 as a double and not an octave higher, and that would be a more pure 12-string effect. But this is very cool in absence of a 12-string guitar. Especially combined with some other effects in that, which I'll definitely explore. This is a really nice pedal to have, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. So let's move on to number 3. By the way, this is not in any order, other than my logic was to do sort of the signal shaping effect first, and then I've got this guy, which we'll get to in a second. But the next pedal, let me go back into the dirty channel here. So this is the Hammer On pedal. Now, I'm just going to give you a little taste of this because to really make use of this pedal, I need my feet, because sometimes you can hold the effect on, let it go. But I'll give you just... So it allows you basically to play things that you couldn't possibly play, or that would require about 12 years of practice, about 16 hours a day. So it's pretty complex when you don't know what you're doing. I'll spend a little more time with it, but you've got different modes here. Let's just step through a couple of them. So you can create sequences with that, so create different intervals, and I can see already, or I can hear already, I can set up really cool little loops. Maybe that'll play over some nice rhythm guitar on the bottom. Adjust the tempo. That's a little bit weird, but I need kind of 2 hands and feet to get this thing going. You could be playing normally, and then you can stomp on the pedal and hold it while you want that effect to happen. You can adjust the tempo, do it real slow. So clearly I don't know what I'm doing with this thing yet. It requires 2 hands, but I can already see how it will inspire some ideas. All right, so the next one is a really cool one. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the clean channel to create something that's very unrealistic. The Freqout pedal is basically a feedback pedal. That's so cool. Now I'll put the distortion back on, back into the high gain channel, make it more realistic. So when you are in model world, for example, you're not getting natural feedback. Well, now you can have all the feedback you want. Now, there's all sorts of settings on here to adjust the type of feedback that you get, how sensitive it is, and things like that. Let me just cycle through a couple just for we get an idea. So that's really cool. You can adjust the type of feedback that you get. So there's a lot of control here. There's a we call momentary feature. There's a couple different modes here. So you can actually activate that by holding down the pedal so you can have a little bit more control. So if you're doing a solo and you want to end on some nice feedback, you just stomp on that for the last note, hold that note as long as you want, and then let her go. So that is very, very cool. And I've already got some ideas of what we can do with that. So the last pedal, let me go back into the clean channel, because we have the OD pre-250 50th anniversary overdrive pedal. Let me take it off first. So here's our clean sound. So there's actually 3 modes on the pedal. I'll just step through those. Position. So the first one has quite a dip in level, so we can compensate with the volume here, or the level. Of course, I can play around with that in different positions, maybe in combination with some, maybe heavier sounding amplifier. So I'm going to experiment with that, but very, very cool overdrive. Now, I'm going to step away from this a little bit. I'm going to play around with some riffs in the magic of editing. You'll get to see that pretty soon. I'm going to take some inspiration from each one of these pedals and see what I can come up with. Well, there's my first look at Digitech DOD, and can I tell you, I had a lot of fun. Those are some awesome pedals. I'm really excited by at least 3 of them, and really I enjoyed playing all 5 of them, but certainly things like the Hammer On, the Whammy, that just takes creativity to another level, helps inspire some ideas, and some days I need a bit of help finding some inspiration, so I'll definitely be spending some more time with those. But I'm curious on your thoughts. Do you have a favorite? Is there one that I don't have here that I should check out? Any of the favorites that I've got here, would love to hear from you. Why don't you let me know down in the comment section. But if you have any questions, any thoughts at all, of course, always happy to hear from you. Now, I've got some links in the description to these pedals, some maybe affiliate links. Doesn't cost you anything if you pick something up, but it does contribute a little something to the channel, helps me make content just like this, and I really appreciate that. But if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And while you're down there, well, if this is in the future, I actually did an interview with Jim Pennock, who's the chief designer for Digitech. They put the band back together again. That'll be here on screen. If I haven't made that video yet, I'll pop something else here that you might want to watch. But remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. And, you know, I had a lot of fun. I think I'm going to get my freak out. But perhaps I'll catch you in the next video.